The track or set I'm most proud of. Cheers, Tesarina. I think my first production is the track that I'm most proud of. Nothing Compares to You. It's obviously a cover version of Sinead O'Connor before she passed. I worked with the producer DJ Brendan Terry, as well as vocalist Ruth Royale in Brixton, UK. The song had been playing in my head for years, and I just wasn't able to get it down into production. So I'm really proud of that track. It obviously got released in 2020. It's reached over 20,000 streams on Spotify, which is phenomenal. And then in 2022, I made a club version, which is a bit more of a chill house track. Whenever I play those, it just takes me back to that proud moment. My earliest musical memory is going on long drives with my family, and the music was always playing. I loved music from a very young age. I remember sitting on my cousin's lap and he was playing the piano, and I immediately fell in love with that instrument and began to play at a really young age. Music has always been a real critical part of who I am and what makes up who I am. There was always music playing in my bedroom growing up. I listened to everything and anything. The track that encapsulate your childhood, my childhood, Set You Free by Entrance. It was released in 1994. I was only 13 years old at the time. And I started getting into dance music at around that same time. And there was something about that particular track that just made me feel like freedom by being authentic and who you are. And I was so fortunate that this year I got to see Entrance for the very first time, would you believe, at Blackthorn Pride. And yeah, I was bawling my eyes out, as you'll see here. Feel your heart be close to me. Wanna stay in your arms forever. You sing it. Let's go. The track that had the biggest impact on me on the dance floor was probably Kings of Tomorrow, Finally, with Julie McKnight. The vocals in that track still give me goosebumps. The lyrics themselves are phenomenal. The melody, it just is so emotive. It definitely gets me every single time. The track that made me rethink how I DJ was James Hype's mashup of Losing It with One More Time. When I first saw that particular mashup, I was just completely blown away by the technique. I had to learn how to do it. And that really opened up the doors for me to start changing the way I performed. I started using 3 and 4 DJ decks simultaneously and really wanted to hone in on my craft to create something that was uniquely mine and slightly different to other DJs. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The track that I played in early disco sets was actually Work by Masters at Work, the Riffs and Rays disco mix. I used to drop that all the time. And even now, every time I play it, it still gets that energy on the dance floor. The track to explain my own sound is my forthcoming single, Choose You. I think it has all the elements of both house and tech house that I love. It has that energy and connection through the vocals, and one of those tracks that I think really encapsulates who I am as an artist. The track that everybody needs to hear is See the Trouble with Me with Black Legend. It's a classic house track that has this opening intro that all you can do is just go into a complete groove, hands in the air. It's the perfect track to end a set with, and I absolutely love playing it. The track that I wish I made was Stardust, Music Sounds Better With You. Again, amazing house track. It was ahead of its time when it was first released. The video clip just gives me goosebumps. It's one of my favourite songs of all time. My creative process when producing a new track is focusing on building the drop, the build up and the drop, and then build the track around that. Which artist would I love to collaborate with? Definitely James Hype at the moment. His technical skill and his production from a tech house perspective, I believe, is phenomenal. His sound really resonates with the direction I'm heading in as well with my own production, and I think we could make some really amazing music. What's next for me in my musical journey? I have 2 new tracks coming out in October and November this year. I'm working on another single, hopefully with a release early next year. And then heading over to Europe for summer 2025. So really looking forward to really immersing myself in the UK and in Europe, locking in some festivals as we speak, and super excited about what's to come.